Summertime is in the rear view mirror here on Kicking Out at 2. I'm your host, Dave Rosenbluth, and we're back, as they say, in the saddle again. And joining me for this episode is my good, dear, close, personal, longtime friend, my co-host. It's been a long time since we've done this. Dennis, what's up, dude?
Chilling, man. It's glorious seeing you, man. I missed you, dude.
I missed you too.
And I missed doing the podcast, but most of all, I miss my buddy Dave, dude. It was glorious seeing you text me. Hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm like, fucking A, right? I want to do a podcast. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I miss you too, dude. I know it's been a little bit. Last time we recorded, I think it was like something like June, maybe. I forget, to be quite honest with you. But summertime, your schedule's a little crazy. Mine's definitely off the wall, so we kind of scale back a little bit. But now, as summer is winding down in the rearview mirror, thought I'd give you a call. Had an opportunity. Just got back from vacation, and I thought it would be perfect for us to sit down and catch up, if you will. So today's episode, recorded on September 4th, 2025, we're going to be watching the September 4th, 2000 episode of WCW Monday Nitro titled Russo's Revenge. You can find that on the Peacock, Season 6, Episode 36, and it features the triple cage match under Wargames format. Vince Russo's team, consisting of himself, the World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Nash, Jeff Jarrett, and Big Poppa Pump Scott Steiner taking on the team of Booker T, Sting, Goldberg, and I believe the Cat Ernest Miller is on that team. And it's a pretty wild episode. This episode actually went unopposed. There was no Raw on the other channel that night due to the U.S. Open tennis, at that time. They were still on the USA Network at that point. So, this is one of this era of Nitro, like you said before we clicked record, it's not really thought of fondly in your eyes, as well as many wrestling fans, myself included. But this was one of the better episodes. This almost had I remember watching this almost had like a pay-per-view quality feel to it, with the triple cage under the War Games format on TV. On a live episode of Nitro, so it's going to be pretty fun to go back and watch this. But what we're also going to do is we're watching this and commenting on what we're watching with all of you. We're going to talk about things that we haven't had a chance to talk about since we haven't recorded in a while. We're going to catch up, if you will. Talk about comings and goings in the current day wrestling world, and what Dennis's thoughts are, what my thoughts are. You obviously know my thoughts, but Dennis and I have not chatted it up, if you will. So we're going to get into that. So what I'd like for all of you to do is I want you to go to your Peacock, not my cock, not your cock, but your Peacock, and go to search WCW Monday Nitro, Season 6, Episode 36. The episode goes 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 28 seconds, and it's titled Vince Russo's Revenge. War Games returns, a triple cage, Vince Russo's Revenge. And I'm going to do the whole press play, I'll give you the countdown, et cetera, and we're going to go back and relive in nostalgic form, as we do here on Kicking Out at 2. So, are you ready? I'm ready.
All right, my man. From time to time, I might put the audio up, not quite sure. But, yeah. Gonna have some fun with this one. I'm looking forward to it. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. In 3, 2, 1. Oh, by the way, hit mute. Okay, if you're watching this with us, mute it so that you can watch along with us. And like I said, from time to time, I'll give you a timestamp if I decide I want to play the audio for our listeners here. So, in 3, 2, 1, hit play.
So I want to start off with a question.
Okay.
So I hear that the WWE Network is on the move again through ESPN. When is that going to happen?
So that's going to begin September the 20th with WrestlePalooza. It's going to be... So what they're doing is... Let me break this down for a little bit, and I'll get into it with you as well. WWE and ESPN are working together with not the whole library and the whole network, but the PLEs, the pay-per-views. So ESPN's going to produce and air WWE's monthly pay-per-views, PLEs as they call them. The library is staying on Peacock for the remainder of the year, and Peacock will be the exclusive home to Saturday night's main event. So there will be 4 Saturday night's main events that will be exclusive to Peacock going forward. The library stays with Peacock till the end of the year. Then the library is up for bidding rights. And the rumors are is that either YouTube and Google might have the library, as we see a shot of them putting together the 3-tier Ready to Rumble triple cage.
Oh, God.
It's actually a pretty impressive structure if you look at it.
I hate when people do. I like gimmick matches, but I hate when they gimmick the gimmick match. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I fucking hate that.
I mean, they kind of. I mean, I'll give them credit. They tried to make this Nitro a very whatchamacallit,
like you said, like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, pay-per-view. You know, and then adding the Wargames format to the triple cage format. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, long story short, back to what I was saying. YouTube and Google might be in the running to get the library, but however, there's a strong chance that ESPN is going to acquire the rights to the library in addition to what they already have now, which are the premium live events. So, as a sports fan, Dennis, let me ask you first thoughts. Yeah. What are your thoughts on ESPN and WWE joining forces? I tell you what,
you know me, I'm kind of out of the game when it comes to current wrestling. So I haven't been describing the WWE anything for probably a year or two now.
Yeah.
But with that being said, ESPN, man, when it comes to like their production, they're the best in the world. So I think this is a partnership made in heaven. I think that's going to be a home run. But as like I said, I might come off a hypocrite because I'm not a current describer of the WWE stuff. But like, how many times is he gonna move their fucking shit? You know what I mean? And right now, how many things do you need? So you need Netflix, you need Peacock, you need you're gonna need ESPN, you're gonna need all this shit to watch your wrestling. Yeah. It's gonna be like $60 a month.
So all right, so getting the ESPN app, I believe, is $30 a month. That will include the PLEs. However, here's the caveat: if you have a current cable subscription, or if you have Hulu Live TV, and I believe DirecTV, and there's a couple other streaming television services, the ESPN app will be free. So like right now, I have YouTube TV, okay? And with YouTube TV, they have, if ESPN is a part of your package on like a Hulu Live or a DirecTV or some of those other streaming services, then you will get the ESPN app for free. There will be like some authentication, or I can't even say the word. You'll have to Jesus Christ, I can't even get the fucking word out. It's like you're talking today. You have to basically prove that through a process that you have this cable subscription or whatever, and then you can get the ESPN app for free. I have YouTube TV. It carries ESPN. However, they have not struck a deal. Now, my brother Justin, as you know, you're friends with, Justin works for ESPN. He said that he gave me a little bit of an inside scoop that ESPN will be negotiating with Google/YouTube and YouTube TV at the in the next month or so, hopefully in the next few weeks or so. So that they can get on board with having the ESPN app right before football season, or at least early into football season, so it doesn't disrupt the football package. So I'm waiting until YouTube TV gets the. I'm not going to pay the $30 to get this app to watch the PLE. If anything, I'll this WrestlePalooza that's coming up on September 20th, I'll just find it online. Like they have those VPN apps or whatever that you can watch the wrestling and shit for free. I'll pirate it for a little bit until YouTube TV comes to an agreement with ESPN. And from what Justin's saying, ESPN wants everybody to have it. So he just thinks it's a formality. It will be a matter of time, especially with YouTube TV having the NFL package.
Yeah,
ESPN wants. They want to make it happen, from what I understand. So I'm not too worried about having it. But yeah, I can understand from a wrestling fan standpoint, having all these different streaming services to have to to be able to get the rights to watch all this wrestling with Netflix and now this. And from what I understand, Peacock, they still have the rights to the NXT PLEs. So if you're an NXT fan, you watch NXT, you'll get to be able to watch the PLEs still moving forward.
Because they're moving too, right? They're going like CW or something.
NXT's
right?
already on CW.
Okay.
So TKO's strategy has always been try to get the spread the wealth out through multiple avenues and multiple services for your rights. So Raw's on Netflix. SmackDown's part of Universal, Comcast, NBC, which the show airs on USA. That includes the library and the Saturday night's main event as well as the NXT PLEs. That could change. Peacock may still keep the library. Who knows? If the library's off Peacock, I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna keep Peacock or not, even for the 4 Saturday night's main events a year.
I think the Peacock guy sucks.
We've said it before. It's terrible. The interface sucks, but I don't know what this ESPN app is like. I'm not sure if it's going to be any better. Me personally, if YouTube TV makes the deal, I'm able to get the ESPN app, then hopefully ESPN gets the library, or the library, goes to Netflix. But then again, Netflix, since they've acquired Raw, they've also acquired archives from Monday Night Raw, and they don't have the entire Raw library up on their app still. There's like a lot of episodes missing in multiple years. So I'm not very convinced that the app will that if Netflix gets it, then they'll do the footage justice. Right now, we're currently watching Filthy Animals, Rey and Juventud, unmasked Rey Mysterio, taking on the Insane Clown Posse in this opening match of Nitro. So ESPN, WWE, it's a game changer. I mean, ESPN's been looking, the last few years have been looking for something to really pop their network, and with them being part of the NBA television rights deal, the NFL stuff, and now with WWE. They're not just the home of sports, but now it's sports and entertainment. As we see Lance Storm and Elix Skipper training major guns from the Misfits in Action.
Look at that girl talking; she's gorgeous.
Pamela Paulshock. That was when WCW was trying to add a little more sex appeal to their programming. She's a smoke show. I've seen pictures.
Sister.
Yeah, she's got a similar look to Tori Wilson. Yeah. I've seen pictures of her recently on Instagram, and she still look for her age. I want to say she's like in her maybe like her late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah,
she's still a smoke show. Kat Ernest Miller with Booker T heading into the limousine, and Kat's assistant. I forget what they called her.
I thought she was Victoria at first.
Yeah. The ESPN WWE deal looks to be pretty impressive. And WrestlePalooza, September 20th, looks like it's going to be a pretty stacked show. Rumors of Brock Lesnar and John Cena headlining that show. Possible Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. The rumors of CM Punk and AJ Lee as a team. His wife returning to the ring to take on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. That should be interesting. Yeah.
People will go bananas for AJ.
Yeah, they will. They most definitely will. Here comes Vince Russo and his group with the Ready to Rumble 3-tier Wargames cage. Now, just to provide a little bit of backstory here, Russo formed this group, I believe, like the week prior, helping Nash.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Those are the Natural Born Thrillers. So those were the guys from the WCW Power Plant that were they were the guys that were just kind of like the stooges for Russo.
Okay.
She's Sean O'Hare, who's no longer with us. Mark Jindrak, Chuck Palumbo's back there.
I always been a Chuck Palumbo fan.
Yeah, Palumbo wasn't bad.
Yeah, O'Hare. I'm sorry they took his life, but I was never big on him.
Who?
O'Hare.
O'Hare, yeah. I thought he had a pretty good look.
Like that whole thing with him and Piper, I don't know. This is weird to me.
Yeah, it was a little different. It was definitely a little different. Not everyone's cup of tea, but I think there was some potential. But yeah, the stage is being set here. Russo's competing in this match. They just now this is the mismatching of the booking, and tell me if this makes sense to you. A week prior, Russo, Jeff Jarrett, they helped Kevin Nash win the world title, defeats Booker T in the main event of Nitro. And then the following week, Russo books himself, Nash, Jarrett, and Steiner in a Wargames match for Nash's world title. So it's a Wargames format, but the object is to climb all 3 cages up top and grab the belt. Tell me if that makes sense to you.
That doesn't make any sense.
Correct, right?
So if Vince Russo got it, he would have been the new champion, and so you're on a team.
You're on a team, but it's for one of your partner's titles, and it's every man for himself.
That is fucked.
Right?
That's fucked.
Yeah.
So I always kind of like I always like the handicap. It was 2 versus 1 essentially, where it was for the world title. If either of these 2 guys pin the champion, they're the new champion. It was kind of like the they worked together at first, and then
it was like a glorified handicap match.
Yeah, I always like those, but that sounds fucked.
There was one year, I believe it was a couple of years prior to this, they had a pay-per-view WWF breakdown in your house, and the main event was Stone Cold Steve Austin as the champion taking on The Undertaker and Kane in a triple threat match. But Vince stacked the deck. Undertaker and Kane were working together. They were brothers. This was a period of time when they were, on good terms. Their characters were. And Undertaker, so Vince made the edict that Stone Cold Steve Austin could pin either Undertaker or Kane to keep the title, but Undertaker and Kane could only pin Stone Cold Steve Austin to win the title. So making it like a glorified handicap match.
Yeah.
And the finish of that match saw Undertaker and Kane double choke slam Stone Cold, and then they both pinned him and hooked each leg, and then you couldn't tell who was the champion. And that's what set up the next night on Raw when Austin drove the Zamboni out. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah, and he beats up Vince, and then they vacate the title. And then they set up a tournament for the next month, and Kane and Undertaker are in the main event, and Austin's the referee, and Austin counts them both out. There's still no champion, and then that's when they set up the Survivor Series tournament that eventually saw The Rock win it. So, but that spawned off of a glorified triple threat that kind of made sense, more sense than what Russo had booked here for this episode of Nitro.
You always try to reinvent the wheel. That always pissed me off about Vince Russo. I always respect him that you could be the lowest guy in the card,
and he had a spot
for you.
Yeah,
I always respect him for that. But I always hated that that instead of just booking a fucking match, he always tried to reinvent the wheel. And it fucking pisses me off.
Yeah,
he got this monstrosity.
He did too much. He did way too much, and there was nobody in this company to kind of rein him in. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, from reading the Nitro book from Guy Evans, which there's another book out called Beyond Nitro, which Justin actually just read recently. I got to read it. But the object of Russo and Bischoff's pairing was Brad Siegel had brought Bischoff back and brought Russo back so that they could work together, and Bischoff could kind of rein Russo in a little bit and kind of still work with his ideas, but go along with like structuring them, giving it more structure, if you will. All right, so we're gone for most of the summer. You and I hadn't really talked much. I'm wearing the shirt as we speak. Hulkamania will live forever. Bought it on WWE Shop. What are your thoughts on Hulk Hogan's passing?
That I think it's a sad day. I really do. Look, you know me. I'm very opinionative.
Yep.
Absolutely, as a human being, he was a piece of shit. But granted, I don't watch wrestling. Well, like I said,
can you separate Hulk Hogan the performer, and Terry Bollea the man?
10,000%. And that's what I was going to get at.
Okay.
My first introduction to wrestling was the gorgeous women's wrestling.
Yep.
But that being said, what got me to go crazy for wrestling.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was actually, you know me. I viewed the world upside down. So it was the guys trying
That's a
to
good way
beat
of looking at
Hogan. But Hogan was the reason why these guys are
Going after
scheming
him.
and going after
Yeah.
him. So I appreciate Hogan so much, man. That he burned the passion of wrestling into me, definitely.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me essentially for cheer for him. I wanted him to see he getting pegged down a bit.
Yep.
But I enjoyed it so much. I really did.
All right, greatest of all time?
Yeah, I'll put him greatest of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
Those have to.
Yeah. He's definitely on your Mount Rushmore, I would think, right?
10,000%.
Yeah. Okay.
10,000%.
And we'll have that discussion at a later date for sure. I talked about doing a Hulk Hogan themed tribute episode at some point, and I don't know if I'll do that in January, or maybe I'll do that next year on the anniversary of his passing, or even on his birthday next year. I'm not sure when, but I'd like to do from this Hulkamaniac a final tribute send off, if you will. Of Hulk Hogan. What else took place this summer that we can? All right. Well, let's just some news came out recently regarding Hulk. There was an autopsy performed, because there were rumblings that there was no autopsy performed and he was already cremated. But apparently, his body is still at the funeral home where the funeral took place, and his wife had an autopsy performed, and there's a rumor that there was possible medical malpractice on a neck procedure that he had gotten done, and the surgeon nicked a phrenic nerve in his neck.
Oh, Jesus.
That caused him to eventually have trouble breathing, that led to a cardiac event, which led to his passing. So share with me your thoughts on Hogan's medical state and what potentially led to his death, and what could take place moving forard stemming from that.
Nothing about this, but if he did die from malpractice, get that. Go after that son of a bitch for sure. And it was pretty abrupt. Sure, Jimmy Hart. I don't know. It's hard to trust a wrestler. That's what I'm trying to say. But Jimmy Hart was like a week ago saying, Hulk's fine. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the motherfucker drops dead.
Yeah.
So it was very strange. If Jimmy Hart was telling the truth, that is very strange.
Yeah. There was, in the beginning, in the weeks before Hulk's passing, it was hard for me to believe what Bubba the Love Sponge was speculating because of his history with Hulk. And their fallout that they had over the sex tape and all that other stuff. But now, Bubba was, at the very least, it appears that he was looking to just get some answers. As we see Sting appearing from underneath the ring to confront Kevin Nash and Vince Russo, who are at odds because Nash is not thrilled that Russo, who is somewhat of his colleague, has booked him in a world title match for the world. Oh, there you go. And no, you're not going to do that to me. Crouch chop, double middle finger. I'm sure it got a decent pop. Nash leaving and is allowing Sting to have his way with Mr. Russo here. But Hogan with Bubba the Love Sponge, I was like, this guy, he's trying to get that Hulk Hogan rub again. But it seems like more and more as the weeks pass and more news comes out about his health and about what had taken place, that he was just really just trying to get some answers. And then to the point where Hulk's daughter, Brooke Hogan, has appeared on his radio show a number of times, offering some clarity as well. Who, she had not a falling out with her father, but they hadn't had the best relationship and hadn't spoken in many, many years. Russo putting himself in a pickle here with Sting as he climbs up to the second tier of the cage.
That's one of my pet peeves, when someone who's a total dork who thinks he's cool. That's Vince Russo. I just hate that quality so much.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes. Big Poppa Pump and Jeff Jarrett.
Baseball bats.
Making their way in with the Natural Born Thrillers. Russo climbing the cage. Sting chasing after him.
Like, look at this fucking mess.
Oh, yeah. The match. This isn't even the match. That's later. That's later in the show. And here comes Booker T and the Cat. They're here to help their partner Sting. And this isn't even the match. They're going to fight off the natural born thrillers.
And they got weapons like the further you go up, huh?
Yeah, so like the other two cages had weapons.
Like, why would they have a I don't know.
What? Ask.
No, I'm just saying, one of the weapons is a trash can. Why don't you just put like a chainsaw or like fucking, I don't know.
A chainsaw? Jesus.
No, I'm just saying.
It was a horror movie?
Menacing. They're not going to use it. I'm just saying, at least it'll look menacing. It doesn't look very menacing when you have two fucking trash cans in there.
Okay. I mean, well, is there a table in there? Did I see a table? I don't know.
I don't know. Vince Russo.
Russo got away. All chaos, all hell is broken loose. Until, because you could tell something's about to happen here. Goldberg, there he is. The fourth man, a part of this Wargames team.
That's what I would do.
Russo runs away. Well, at least...
First thing Vince Russo ever did.
Well, they're setting the stage for the main event, is what they're doing. Oh, there's Goldberg. He's going to chase after Russo as we're going to head to a commercial break here. Do I dare ask if you've watched any AEW?
Yes.
Okay.
It was not a full show or nothing.
You saw some clips.
I saw some clips.
Okay.
I saw Kenny Omega again doing that fucking. So he went through a table. He's got like that gas roll bullshit in his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that angle, and again going in the stretch. Every time I watch.
Oh, so what? You're talking about last night's episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the rematch with Okada?
No, I did not watch that match.
All right, neither did I. Did you watch any of? Did you see any clips from the All In show in Texas?
I think I did.
When Hangman won the belt from Moxley?
I didn't know that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what I did.
That's a good match. That's the only match I've watched from
really,
AEW.
A good Moxley match. Huh?
It was a good,
long time.
Yeah, I mean it's got its bumps and bruises, hardcore, stuff like that. But it was a pretty fun match.
He needs to take some vacation, Moxley. I think he's ruining that product.
You think it's him, or you think it's just everything in general?
See, I wish they could go back to 2020 AEW. That was magic, or before the pandemic, or whatever.
Yeah,
like 2019, like magic. They needed to clean the slate.
Speaking of magic, look here, Tony Schiavone, Mark Madden, and fucking Powder, Jeremy Borash.
Oh, there he is. Oh my god, I didn't even know what that was at first.
Got a haircut, some sort of angle they did on their internet show WCW Live, where I think he lost a bet or something. I forget what happened, but he ended up having to get his hair cut.
He deserves so much better than he's so fucking good.
Borash,
so much, yeah.
Borash works for WWE, and he helped produce that Boneyard match with Undertaker and AJ Styles during that COVID WrestleMania.
Yeah, the best match of
the best match of that WrestleMania. Yeah. Not only that, he's also been very involved in WWE's acquisition with AAA. And the comings and goings with the Mexican talent. There's talk that he's probably going to be helping run their creative with Conan. So that Borash is still.
Did you watch the Clash of the Worlds or whatever that was called with Conan doing the commentating? That was the worst commentating I ever heard.
Worlds Collide?
Life. Yeah.
I did watch that show. There were some fun matches on there. I didn't think the commentating was terrible, but it wasn't great either. I believe they just had a show recently, Triple Mania. So let me ask you something. What do you think of WWE and AAA working together?
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
So I'm in awe of the luchador athleticism.
Yeah.
But it's too much where there's no psychology. If WWE gets a greasy paws and teach these guys psychology, I think that could be the best wrestling on the planet.
I think that's what the attempt is, or what the approach is for them. Something I read recently is that Undertaker has had a lot more influence behind the scenes with AAA talent. He was backstage at the most recent Triple Mania show, and he was there's talk that he's going to be doing more than just his podcast, more than just these one man theater shows that he does. That he's going to be more involved behind the scenes with them, and especially with AAA. As we see a shot here of Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark. Yeah, I thought they were a pretty impressive looking team.
They're all fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And what did someone was talking about Adam Bomb, and I wish he could be this character. Oh, now I'm dropping the ball. But anyway, I always been a big fan of Adam Bomb and Chronic.
Same. I thought Adam.
Fucking love that guy.
I thought Adam. People talk about that era of WWF that Adam Bomb was a part of, and 93, 94, maybe a little bit part of 95, and yeah, there was a lot of cartoonish shit. But the Adam Bomb character looked so impressive that I don't understand how he didn't have a run with they put Undertaker with every big man under the sun, whether they were good or bad.
Yeah.
The Undertaker was always fed these monsters. Why didn't they do Undertaker Adam Bomb some sort of semi long-term program?
I would have loved it.
I just thought that he was so impressive looking that it was just, I don't know, I was baffled.
Yeah.
I was baffled that Adam Bomb didn't have a run with Undertaker. Here we see Shane Douglas, Torrie Wilson, Natural Born Thrillers in Vince Russo's office.
I didn't even double down on Adam Bomb. I remember when they turned him babyface. He had a match with Yokozuna, and he won from, he did a shoulder block, and he won via countout. The place exploded. People loved Adam Bomb. And then I never saw him again. The last next time I see him when he's in WCW.
Yeah. Yeah, he was... He had a short-lived run. Here's Sting. Sting coming out for his match. So apparently, Russo has decided that all of the individuals that are involved on the opposing team of Wargames now have to qualify to get into the match, which is another mind fuck here, because they book the match now. Oh, now they got to qualify.
Oh my god!
You believe that?
Watch and win. $100,000 apparently.
And apparently, if Goldberg wins the cage match, he can get time alone with Russo, according to Russo.
All right. Maybe the new champion, and he gets time with Russo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can. So Sting's going to wrestle Vampiro and the Great Muta.
Oh, I love Vampiro.
Yeah.
And I love Great Muta.
I thought this pairing was pretty interesting. I liked the two of them together. They were WCW Tag Team Champions at the time. Yeah, so this is a War Games qualifying match. Vampiro as the Juggalo Championship Wrestling World Champion. Yeah, so this is a glorified. Well, this is a handicap match.
Yeah.
Now, what wasn't made apparent during this broadcast was if Vampiro or Muta win, do they qualify for the War Games match? Because it just made it seem like, well, Sting has to beat these guys in order to get in, even though he was already booked to be on the team.
And then the heels will get two guys instead of one.
Will the heels get two guys, or will Muta and Vampiro be on the babyface side? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this is confusing as fuck.
Exactly. So for those of you that are watching with us at home, please don't worry. We're just as confused as you are here.
Yeah. If anyone can have a theory of what we're talking about, hit off the off, of course, that kicking attitude at Facebook.
Yep. Yeah. If you can come up with some better theory than this, by all means, have at it, and I'll run with that theory for the rest of my wrestling fandom. Sting with the Scorpion Death Drop.
That's
1,
it?
2, 3. It's over. And Muta just stood there, didn't break it up.
You just squashed your fucking tag team champions in a handicap match in like 35 seconds.
And here's Muta now, him and Vampiro having words. Because he didn't save him. Clown Posse coming out. They're going to break this up, hopefully. Muta's ready to mist. Oh, he just did. Goes. There's the green. There's the green mist. Oh, but Insane Clown Posse are they got it under control for now.
The Black Mist is the worst, right?
We got more Canadian training with Major Guns, Elix Skipper, and Lance Storm. I actually like this version of Lance Storm.
I always love Lance Storm.
I thought this was kind of neat where he, kind of formed this Team Canada. He changed the names of the belts that he won. So the U.S. Championship was the Canadian Heavyweight Championship. He had the Cruiserweight title, and he gave it to Skipper. So it was like the 100 kilos and under title. And there's Stevie Ray arguing with Vince Russo because Booker T has to qualify for this match, and he's forced to wrestle Stevie Ray, his own brother.
Interesting.
That is an interesting conundrum.
The NWO, are they still around? Is this an NWO?
So, all right. So no. So here's the funny part about this, right? Back at the end of 1999, when Russo first came into WCW, remember when they reformed the NWO with Bret Hart, Hall and Nash, Steiner, and Jeff Jarrett? That little, like, NWO 2000, they were silver and black. Well, this is them, but without calling themselves the NWO.
Of course, the Outsiders.
Of course. Nash has got a T-shirt that says Outsiders, NWO. And here's the fucked up part about this booking, which you know is bad, right? So at Bash at the Beach, 2 months prior, Nash wrestles Goldberg as a babyface. Goldberg was a heel, aligned with Russo, right? Scott Hall's contract was on the line. Scott Steiner helped Goldberg win the match. Therefore, Scott Hall will no longer be allowed to wrestle in WCW ever again. But a month and a half later, Nash is boys with Steiner as a part of a group with Russo. Tell me about it, right?
Vince Russo booking.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I hate about Vince Russo. Like I said, I'll say this a million times. I'm screaming the hilltops. I love that the fucking caterer had a fucking a storyline with Vince Russo. However, that his storylines lasted a week, and it didn't even make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
and how many more champions are in a month? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, when Russo and Bischoff took over in the springtime of 2000, the title between DDP and Jarrett changed at least like 2 or 3 times before they gave it to Arquette, and then Arquette, did the thing where they turned on DDP, and then that was the night that Mike Awesome threw Canyon off the cage into the stage, and Jarrett won the belt. And then Jarrett lost it to Flair, and then Flair had an apparent, a possible, cardiac event behind the scenes, and so then they dropped the belt. Then Nash beat Jarrett for it. Then Nash handed the belt back to Flair, and then Flair lost to Jarrett, and then Jarrett had the belt, and then lost it to Nash again, then beat Nash again, and then lost it to Hogan, and then Russo told Hogan to go fuck himself, and then that's when they put Booker T in, and Booker T beat Jarrett.
Wrap your head around that,
right? I'm surprised I remembered all that.
That was fucking brilliant.
I'm really. I mean, maybe I missed a title change here and there, but I'm pretty sure I got that accurate.
Yeah, that's fucking bonkers,
right? It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's Russo booking.
Yeah. And Nash is world champion going into this War Games with his title on the line, and anybody, including members of his team, can win the world title. But it's a team format with War Games.
Yeah, I'm lost for words right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Booker T making his entrance here.
Yeah.
Taking on...
This show's an hour and a half, right?
Well, I mean, on Peacock without commercials, it's a 2-hour show.
Okay, I'm just saying, you got all these matches...
Well, but think about it, though. If you think about it, this was the era of wrestling between, Nitro and Raw, where you had a good number of matches, but they were short. The segments were longer than the matches. The interviews.
The promos were longer than the matches.
Yeah. 15, 20 minutes to come out to start the show. They talk, but then, 2-3 minutes for the match.
You know what was my biggest pet peeve back in the 90s wrestling?
What?
Again, it was the hottest of all time.
Correct.
But the promo, you get a promo, and then the next segment is another promo. That used to drive.
At times there were, yeah.
My mind used to get blown.
At times, yes, there were.
That was the only. That's my one nitpick of the late 90s wrestling when they did the double promo.
Yeah,
and you wasted 45 minutes and that on a 2-hour show. And it's like fuck, man.
Yep. Yeah, there were times where a lot of that took place, and that was a part of the Vince Russo formula, even when he was on Raw. There was one particular. I dropped the remote here. Let me grab it for you. There was a particular episode of Nitro from February of 1999. This was after the Finger Poke of Doom and NWO reunited, and they were kind of targeting Goldberg and Ric Flair. Ric Flair was the president of WCW, and this was rumored to be this was a Kevin Nash booked show. I believe Kevin Nash and DDP were booking WCW at that time. Nash was the head booker, but DDP was like assisting him. Along with other guys like Kevin Sullivan and Terry Taylor and so on and so forth. Anyhow, Nitro at that time was 3 hours, okay? And the first hour, you have an arena full of people. It was all video packages.
No way.
All video packages and vignettes. There was not one thing, not an in-ring segment, not a promo, not a match that took place in the ring for the first hour.
It was all video.
It was all video packages and like segments, like behind the, backstage for a whole hour. And the rumor was, and I don't know how this is true, but the rumor was that the reason why that was produced the way it was because apparently there was an issue with the first couple of segments of the show with some talent. I don't know if it was, regarding finishes of a match. Speaking of finishes, Booker T defeats his brother with the bookend. And Stevie Ray's not happy.
I'm not selling it either.
Yeah. But there were rumors that there were some issues with some of the booking for a segment or a match, and they kind of had to do some stuff on the fly, so they were just throwing out random video packages and vignettes for the first hour because there might have been some issues with talent having issues with their finishes or what was going to take place in a match or a segment. But a whole hour of no in-ring action. Nothing that took place live in the ring. Not even a promo.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being in that crowd?
Yeah.
That's the world. That would be like WrestleMania 2, right? Being in Chicago for the third segment, right?
Well, you talking about the third show or the?
I'm just saying, like you're in an arena just watching the Megatron, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? That's unbelievable.
Chicago was the second portion of Mania.
I was just making a note.
No, I know, but yeah, I mean, having to sit in the arena, but at least you had the screens to watch the action. Yeah. Like back then, I don't think obviously back then, in '86, it was much different than. There's Chronic beating on a couple of
Oh, who was those jobber guys?
The Young Dragons.
Yeah, the Young Dragons. I like those guys.
Kaz Hayashi, Jimmy Yang, and then there's Jamie Noble under a mask. Remember Jamie Noble?
Of course.
Yeah, little redneck. They put a mask on him and told him he was an Asian guy.
He's like one of the head bookers now, isn't he?
He's one of the producers. Yeah. He produces behind the scenes for WWE. Here's 3 Count, which honestly during this era of WCW, I liked 3 Count.
I loved them
because that was during they really capitalized on the boy band, the boy band genre, as they go to take on Chronic here.
Like 3 Count, that is Vince Russo good booking. I gotta.
Funny thing is, Russo didn't create 3 Count.
No?
3 Count was created, I think, by like Jimmy Hart and I believe Bischoff, if I'm not mistaken. And then, but Russo used them more. Yeah, is this a Wargames qualifying match? I don't recall.
Probably
I think this is.
Is it?
If I'm not mistaken.
Chronic? I find Chronic. No, I don't know. That and poor Shannon Moore.
I just read something recently about Shannon Moore that he had he had some troubling times with some substance abuse in the past few years.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I believe now he's a substance abuse counselor, if I'm not mistaken. Chronic.
I'm sorry you hit some hard times. I was always a fan.
This was a poor man's version of the APA, but they were still pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because they did the whole bounty hunter thing where they would protect guys for money and shit, and that was when APA was doing it. But, these two were friends in real life, Adams and Clark.
Yeah.
Who are they here to wrestle? Oh, they're here to wrestle Jeff.
Slapnuts.
Oh, here's Jeff Jarrett, the chosen one.
What exactly is a fucking slapnut?
From what I have heard Jeff Jarrett say, that was something that his grandmother used to call him.
Oh.
And so then he used to, because trust me, I didn't know what a slapnut was But he sold plenty of T-shirts with the slap nuts on it.
Yes, yeah. I wouldn't be caught dead with that fucking thing on my body. That's just me.
Oh, my goodness. So Jarrett comes out here and basically says that, this is a War Games qualifying match now with Jeff Jarrett, with Chronic taking on Ernest the Cat Miller, another one who needs to qualify for this War Games match.
So this is how the faces. There's no way Ernest Cat Miller's going to beat up both these guys.
No, definitely not.
Even though they say he's a legit badass.
He legit was a skilled in martial arts.
I forgot. Fuck, I'm so mad at myself. I forgot who it was. But I was listening to a shoot interview, and wasn't Ernest Cat Miller was telling the story. It goes, someone was fucking Ernest Cat Miller and saying, "Are you for real?" And he kicked the guy. And the guy was like, "Okay, you're for real."
Yeah. No, Miller was legit, trained in martial arts, very skilled, with that type of background. Friends with Eric Bischoff, helped train Eric Bischoff's son Garrett, from what Bischoff has said on his podcast over the years. Actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he helped train Bischoff for that match that he had at Starrcade a couple of years before with Larry Zbyszko. When
that was 3. Whatever.
Was it?
That was like it was 3 to me. I think that was a botch. Anyway, what do I know?
I mean, does it really matter?
No.
Look how this show's been booked. I mean, you book a match with these guys, and as a team for a title, but then we're gonna make them qualify again.
Yeah.
All right.
Talk about what was it? What was Bischoff's son's name again?
Garrett.
I fucking hate that guy because I used to love TNA wrestling, and you could smell when they started fucking booking that guy and putting over these stars. It was kind of like the downfall of the TNA, and it was him. And what was it called? Nepotism. It was the fucking nepotism. I was so angry. I really was.
I probably stopped watching around that time.
Everyone did because of fucking.
But then I got back into it once they kind of got rid of that Hogan Bischoff bootleg NWO, and then what got me into TNA again was the Aces and Eights storyline.
I tell you what, looking back, I actually appreciate it. I didn't like it at first.
I did.
Like Bubba Ray. I don't know. There's just something about just Bubba Ray.
Well, maybe the reason why I liked it so much is because I was a big Sons of Anarchy fan, the TV show.
That was a great show.
Yeah. So when they kind of brought that element to wrestling, I was like, oh, this is pretty neat. I like this. So
I just wish it was someone else than Bubba Ray.
Like who? Who would you have put in that position?
Okay, who do we got? The first guy there, fucking Kennedy. Why not have Kennedy be the head guy?
Oh, he was in the group.
That's what I mean. Well, why not him? I think he's a bigger star than. Look.
Really, you think he's a bigger star than Bubba Ray Dudley?
No. The Dudley Boys dwarf fucking Kennedy.
Yes.
Singles wrestler though, I think I would go with Kennedy.
I mean, Kennedy had a lot of potential. I'm not going to deny that he had a lot of potential, but I liked the Bully Ray character in a singles role, and I thought he fit that group very well as their leader. He was able to talk.
He's not going to carry a company, though.
I'm not saying he's carrying a company.
You put him as the world champion, that means you're carrying the company.
But listen, if you think about it, during that era, there wasn't any one particular person as world champion that was carrying that company. And let's face it, this may sound arrogant and cocky, but Hulk Hogan being a part of TNA was all about giving that company exposure with Hulk Hogan's name attached to it. Even though he wasn't a wrestler, even though he wasn't the main focal point. Well, I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that because Hogan did have a top storyline as their figurehead boss, commissioner, whatever you want to refer to it as. Another War Games qualifying match here. Franchise Shane Douglas taking on Goldberg with Tori Wilson. By the way, have you seen Tori Wilson lately?
No.
Whew, man.
Smoke show?
Yes. In her 50s, and she is looking better than she did there. in my opinion.
She looks weird tonight. I think she's one of the hottest people ever put. God ever graces on this planet. But tonight she looks a little. I don't know. This is not her best style.
No, I mean she looks good there, but she's not like not her best. But now Tori Wilson, oh my goodness, she's in her 50s and she's just she's gorgeous.
Yeah, when she did her fucking Hall of Fame speech, and then people shit on her, but look, you don't have to be a wrestler. I know she technically was, but you don't have to be a wrestler to be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame. She was entertainment.
Yeah.
I know this is going to make me come off the slime ball. She helped me through puberty. That was my girl. Tori and Stacy, those are my girls.
Her speech was pretty good. I'll give her that. Her speech, when she even mentioned, being, the object of a lot of 19-year-old, 20-year-old males, a lot of males going through puberty, young males, I should say. I don't know. Maybe it's just an old school wrestling fan in me, but her, Stacy Keibler,
and Sunny, I think all deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, I thought Sunny did because she had I felt like Sunny had a way bigger impact on wrestling on a female side with sex appeal than Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler did. I mean, to be at the time in 1996 to be the most downloaded female on America Online.
That's a good point.
Like, to me, in my opinion, I think that qualified her to go to the Hall of Fame. What did Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler do to be put in the Hall of Fame other than just be good looking?
Yeah.
Did they have a mainstream sex appeal across? Did they transcend wrestling?
Not really. They just did.
And think about it. If it wasn't for Sunny, those two wouldn't probably be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I think their sex appeal certainly helped.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Question. That is a damn good question.
That's just my take.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's got an opinion. Everyone, might feel the same or
Sunny was way
different.
more over with the fans. Absolutely.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson, they got, pretty good reactions when they came out with the fans. But do you think fans would have given a shit about them if they didn't, have that sex appeal? It was during that time period where, when the women's portion of the show was about sex appeal. There was nothing about athleticism when it came to the women in wrestling whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was all about, showing off your tits and ass.
Even Luna Vachon had to do that. That broke my heart. When you watch these Jackie Moore, Luna Vachon,
Ivory, those girls that weren't really
really good wrestlers.
Yeah.
And they had to do that shit.
But I mean,
that really bothered me.
In later years, with this Hall of Fame, they've acknowledged the Jackies and the Ivories, and I think even Luna Vachon, I think, has a spot in the Hall of Fame. They just didn't do a speech. I think she's a part of that legacy wing of the dead people that they put in the Hall of Fame. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Here comes Goldberg. Did you see Goldberg's last match against Gunther?
Pieces.
Okay. Did you see Goldberg's interview about feeling, slighted over the fact that his retirement speech got cut short?
The Gong Show. They just shut off the mic. They just whatever. We went too long. When they took you off the stage. Yeah, they did the Gong Show. I don't know. I thought it was a good speech for a while, and then I guess I thought it was too long.
NBC. But here's the thing. He blames WWE for that, but NBC cut that off. That's all NBC. It wasn't like WWE. I mean, NBC. They had to go to the next show.
In his farewell speech, they should have done that to him.
I think they should have given him more time. And here's the other thing:
using racial slurs, which he wasn't. He didn't bring politics into it.
Well, here's the other thing I didn't like about it was the fact that it was like a 3-week build. He comes out, challenges Gunther, and then they set up a match for the title. Now, it was a good match. Gunther brought him to a really good match, better than I expected. Okay, and I was confident Gunther was going to be able to do that, but he exceeded my expectations. However, I do think for someone as popular as Goldberg was, he probably deserved a little more than a 3-week build-up.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
That's what everyone was speculating, that he's going to assign a one-match.
Go to AEW. I could see AEW doing that. I could see Tony Khan doing that. I mean,
they did a great job with Sting. That was the last thing I think that they hit a home run.
Yeah,
was the Sting retirement.
Yes, I thought the pairing with Sting and Darby Allin I thought was really well done. It kind of added more value to Darby Allin's character. I didn't have a problem with Sting's run in AEW. I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not the biggest AEW fan, but the last show I purchased was Sting's retirement match about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and it was a good match.
I remember watching the promo for the match with him and Darby against the Young Bucks, and the music video. It was just very well produced. The song was "The Silence" by or "The Science," or "Silence," I forget. Manchester Orchestra. And I was like, wow, this is just a really good produced video. And it gave me that, it gave me that feeling I had when I was a kid, the FOMO feeling, of the fear of missing out because I wasn't able to order the pay-per-view. And I was just like, screw it. I'm going to order this pay-per-view on Bleacher Report because it's Sting's last match. And he's one of the last guys of the era of wrestling that I grew up on that's calling it quits. And I wasn't the biggest Sting fan.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed Sting's work. Obviously, his stuff is the Crow in the prime era of Nitro, and the NWO stuff is probably his best work. His Surfer stuff is great, against the Horsemen, and his stuff with Vader and things like that are great stuff. So I was like, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna pay the $50 to watch the show because it's Sting's last match. Why not? So. That was like that. They did a great job hooking me in to pay that $50 at the last minute. It was literally I was watching the promo on YouTube, and then I think there was probably a half hour or 45 minutes to spare before the show started. Here they come. Natural Born Thrillers.
Why would you do that? Now he wins for disqualification. Why would you punch fucking Shane Douglas, you fucking morons? Anyway, whatever.
No, you're right. You're right. Because now Goldberg is entered into the match, the Wargames match against these guys. These guys aren't in the match.
And who's that guy? The fucking
Reno.
It looks like Genghis Khan bullshit.
He is Reno from the Natural Born Thrillers. There's Palumbo. Mike Sanders is like the mouthpiece in the corner that you saw over there with the T-shirt. Okay. Stasiak, remember Stasiak?
I remember Sean Stasiak.
Stasiak's part of that group, and then you got Jindrak and O'Hare. Well, it looks like there's no disqualification, or the referee's just letting the rules kind of fly because Douglas is still involved.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Boom, spear.
That was a cool spot.
That was
cool.
The press slam that with one that he spears the other guy.
That was cool. I wish he did more of that. Anyway, that was cool.
Yeah. Goldberg now going to hoist him up, and it looks like this is going to be the end of it. So I guess, if you think about it, it doesn't make sense that they put what's his face, that Russo put these, qualifying matches in place after he booked the match. However, he's trying to create some kind of thread, some common thread around this episode of Nitro, and kind of build some heat for the baby faces to see the fans, for the fans to want to see them get their revenge on Russo and his group, forcing them to wrestle twice in the same night. So in theory, I get where he's coming from, but the execution, once again, classic Vince Russo, very poor. Now he's upset, doesn't work out, that he's...
You know what pisses me off more than anything about that jersey? I always hate those custom jerseys when you have your favorite team with your name on it, but don't put the captain... You put the captain symbol on his fucking custom-made Vince Russo.
Oh, there he is. Replay again. Boom.
That was cool.
Press slam that goes into a spear. That's probably the best part of the whole match. Best part of the whole show, if you think about it.
That spot was the best. I'm wishy-washy about Goldberg, but for him, that was a fun match. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Look at that. The fucking Captain C on him. Fucking shit.
And he's only wearing the this was the era of when heels would get the cheap heat with Towns. This was right after the Devils beat the Dallas Stars in the Stanley Cup because they're in Dallas, Texas at the old Reunion Arena.
What's gonna piss you off more? Him wearing a custom-made Vince Russo jersey or Martin Brodeur?
Vince Russo. Because it just pissed you off. He took the captain's emblem, put it on a jersey, and put his name on the back.
No, but granted, that could have been Miami, Florida, and that would have pissed me off. I'm just saying, if I'm a Dallas Stars fan in Dallas, if you wear a Martin Brodeur jersey, that would hurt me more than fucking Vince Russo. I'm sorry. Or I'm a Viking fan. If the Vikings just lost the Green Bay Packers game, if he said Vince Russo and the Packers, I'd be like, whatever. But if it's Brett Favre, kill that motherfucker!
Here's another training vignette with Major Guns in the pool with the Misfits in action, and she's just about had enough of all this hard work that she goes. And then out of the corner, there you see the Misfits in action.
That's funny. I gotta say that.
You had Hugh Morris, Lash LaRue, Chavo Guerrero, and The Wall, but their Misfit names were
going into the pool.
Yep, going into the pool. Finally. And then, there we go. But Chavo was named Lieutenant Loco. Lash LaRue was Corporal Cajun. The Wall was AWOL. And then Hugh Morris was General Rection, as in Hugh G. Rection.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Funny but stupid. And now here's Russo with the Thrillers. And he gives them some sort of speech and then decides he's going to make a gauntlet match with the Thrillers taking on Big Vito. Yeah.
What's his gripe against Big Vito?
I guess Vito's got some sort of beef with the Thrillers.
All right. So he's going to have to beat every single one.
Probably. More than likely.
All right.
Now, I don't know if this is a Wargames qualifying match or not, but it looks like they're trying to, once again, illustrate Russo's dominance on this show. Oh, there he is. Good old double-A Arn Anderson.
Nice touch with the wet hair.
Yes.
That I love.
Yes.
What do you call it?
The continuity.
Booking.
Yeah, the continuity was there with her with the wet hair. But this is Arn Anderson here because in the next episode of Nitro, David Flair and Stacy Keibler are going to get married. So Arn Anderson is here to announce that Ric Flair will be in attendance for his son's wedding.
All right.
Yeah. And Ric Flair hadn't been on WCW programming in a few months after he had his head shaved by Vince Russo and his son David Flair. So
that lucky dog David Flair and Stacey, were that a real thing?
They were a real thing for a while.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, they were a real thing for a while. Absolutely. And then that was no longer a thing, but there it is. You're cordially invited to attend the marriage of Miss Hancock and David Flair, September 11th in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a pretty wacky episode of Nitro, too, where I'll spoil it for you. She's at the altar and basically says that she can't get married to David, and it appears that Rick might have something to do with it. And then they kind of alluded to Flair maybe being the one that had impregnated Miss Hancock, Stacy Keibler, what have you. Oh, that's why Vito's running this gauntlet, because he attacked Russo the week prior.
He had to do it from behind. What a fucking pussy.
I know, right? And there's that guy Reno that was in the ring for it. Did you hear what Big Vito said recently about Bret Hart?
I have no idea. Give it to me.
Oh, man. So Bret Hart, once again, even after Hogan's passing, kind of trashed Hogan. And I guess Bret Hart was recently a guest for WWE at SummerSlam, and Bret Hart claimed that when he was there, they didn't have a seat for him. Like he was told he was supposed to be sitting in the crowd for a segment where they were gonna, introduce the legends and have him like wave to the crowd or whatever. Yeah. But apparently there wasn't a seat for him. And then he claims that, but they had a seat for Triple H's friend Kevin Nash.
Oh, for God's sake!
Well, Kevin, not bitching. Exactly. So that's what Vito did. Vito went on Twitter and basically was like, "You're the best there is at bitching, the best there was at bitching, and the best there ever will be at bitching." He goes, "For a guy whose wrestling style I tried to pattern off of, you've become a disgrace with all your bitching over the years about how you've been wronged in wrestling."
He really said that. Oh, yeah. I'm so proud.
It was this. If you go look at it on Twitter, it was this long rant. He fucking went off on him.
I love Bret Hart. I really do. But when you watch these shoot interviews now,
that's all he does is complain.
It's all he does.
It's all he does.
It's an hour of him complaining.
Here, you don't need to see a Bret Hart shoot interview or listen to a podcast with Bret Hart because there's about 5 things he's going to bitch about. Goldberg ending his career, Hogan screwing him over, the Montreal screw job, his time in WCW, and then his brother's death.
Yeah.
Like those are like the 5 things that he will talk about that has made him so disgruntled. And you'll hear one of those things comes up in just about every interview he does. And it's I'm not trying to say that, like, all right, aside from the Owen subject, because that's his brother. His brother died in a tragic accident. Like, if that's something that, like, hurts you over all these years, then, like, yes, like, you have every right to feel that way.
And even
because
the Goldberg thing, believe it or not.
Goldberg didn't mean to do it.
But have you ever heard? Stop me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Have you ever heard though, like on social media or even like through like whatever that Goldberg going, oh my god, I can't. I'm ashamed of myself that happened. I would never do that to Brett. I never heard that before.
Goldberg has said numerous times. He's like, I've apologized. I didn't mean to do it. I was inexperienced. Like I didn't mean to hurt him. And I've seen the interviews. He's like, but I'm tired of him keep trashing me. And at this point, it's like, I'm done with it. Like, I've apologized for it. It's like I'm sorry that this happened to you. I feel guilty that this happened, but it doesn't give Brett the right to just trash him the way he does in Goldberg's mind.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just funny to me that that Brett just can't get over. Like, his anger is so deep-seated with all these subjects. Like, he still trashes Triple H to this day about Triple H's involvement in the Montreal Screwjob. Because Hunter was the one that suggested, well, why don't we do business for him if he doesn't want to drop the belt?
I thought it was Jim Cornette.
Cornette was there for the interview. I mean, everybody claims. Russo claims he had a part in it. Yeah. Cornette claims he has a part in it. Hunter claims he has a part in it. I think Shawn Michaels has said Hunter was the one that kind of threw the idea out there. Like, well, what if we do the business for him? Look at that. They did the 3D. The Dudley Death Drop. But it's sad because I like Brett's work. And that's the thing. I can separate Brett's work in wrestling for the stuff that he's, how he's conducting himself in real life to this day. His work is unmatched. Like, yeah, absolutely. Literally, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. The countless memories I have of watching Bret Hart grow up, growing up and watching him wrestle, and the memories that he made in wrestling. His contributions do not go unnoticed. But Jesus Christ, do you really, Christ, the WWE put his match with Steve Austin in the Hall of Fame this year at WrestleMania. And what did he do at WrestleMania? When they brought all those guys out on stage, Triple H, who went into the Hall of Fame as a solo act, went over and shook everyone's hand, and he went over and shook Bret's hand, and Bret just rolled his eyes and shook his head and made some, some sarcastic, facial expression to the camera. The man who runs the company decided to honor you that weekend.
Yeah.
And you're just going to go ahead and blatantly disrespect him because you're still upset about his contribution to your fucking stupid screw job almost 30 years ago? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Where I lost respect for Bret was after Roddy Piper died. When Roddy Piper died, there was an interview that came out with Bret Hart on a podcast, and I saw the clip on YouTube. And Bret had said, maybe I've told you this, but I've said this before on this podcast. Bret basically said, and Piper died a week after the audio from the Hogan sex tape leaked out when he dropped the hard R. And Bret said, I bet Hulk's happy that Piper died because that takes the heat off of him being such a racist. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. You got to drag Hogan into everything?
Yeah.
And how disrespectful is that to the memory of a guy who you claim that was such a mentor to you, Roddy Piper, that you're going to drag that bullshit from Hogan in a comment? Because the interview asked him, so can you share your thoughts on, Roddy Piper's passing? You guys had that WrestleMania 8 match, and you guys were close behind the scenes, et cetera, et cetera. And that was his response. Oh, I bet Hogan's happy that Piper's dead because now it takes the heat off him being a racist.
It's so stupid.
It's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Just like this year with Booker T, Sting, and Chronic now a part of a team with Goldberg against these
All right.
these three.
The hockey helmet, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah. Has that little slapstick comedy. So Sting, Booker T, Chronic, they're interviewed with Pamela Paulshock as they're getting ready for this big War Games match for the title. And coming up next is this War Games match. So it's War Games format. Two guys start. Coin toss determines which team's going to come out next, which is more than likely the heel team. And then they come out and, every so minutes or whatever. And the
would have been more compelling instead of all this fucking qualifying asshole shit. Why don't you have a match? Whoever wins, that they get the man advantage.
The man advantage. Well, that's what they. Yeah, I would.
Fucking 4-way tag match.
Yeah,
right.
Or have one representative from each team, like Sting representing his team, maybe Scott Steiner representing the other team. They wrestle at the beginning of the show. Winner has their team gets the man advantage in War Games. Yeah.
I don't know. Better than what
they kind of do that now with WWE's version of War Games, where that'll be like the main storyline of like a Raw or a SmackDown, like right before.
I wouldn't do that every year. If they do it every year, whatever. But I wouldn't do that every year just because sooner or later the face team has to win, and it's so boring when the face team has the man advantage. You always want the heels. You always want the heels to have that man advantage.
I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you there, dude. I think that the babyface team having the advantage, it's. I mean, I get it. The last few years they've been trying to switch it up, make it interesting, but it is very boring because it doesn't create any kind of odds stacked against the babyface. You're stacking the odds against the heels, and the match is designed for the heels to have the advantage in the match so that the babyface can make the comeback and win.
The only time I could ever think that happened was that girls and NXT won, and then it was so cool. It looks like the babyface team's gonna have the woman's advantage.
Yeah.
Then Dakota Kai looks at her partner, kicks her in the fucking face, makes sure that her partner is all hurt, and she walks out of the team. I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. It was NXT, right?
Yep, NXT.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I like that WWE brought the War Games match to the main roster. I think it's pretty cool. However, I think making it every
year
year
sucks.
Yeah, War Games matches are also one of those things where it's like, yeah, like a story, like these two factions or these two groups of individuals having a beef with each other. I'll say this though, they're going to do another one this year, and Survivor Series was announced that it was going to take place at the baseball stadium where the Padres play, San Diego Padres.
Wow, that's cool.
So having a War Games outdoors in a stadium, I think that's going to be pretty cool. And if you can YouTube it, but the original War Games matches that took place in I think it was like 87 when it started on those Great American Bash live event tours. I saw a War Games match once with the Horsemen taking on like Dusty and the Road Warriors, and I forget who else was part of it. Maybe Nikita was a part of that. They had a War Games match outdoors at the Orange Bowl in Miami.
Really?
Yeah. If you ever YouTube it, look up War Games Orange Bowl 87 maybe, 87 or 88. That was a pretty fun match. Then some of those matches, there was no commentary behind them. There was just straight up, it was just the match. So
it was like broadcast on TV?
It wasn't on television. It wasn't a pay-per-view, but they filmed the events for like future. Like I remember a few years back when WWE produced the Four Horsemen DVD, and one of those War Games matches at the Orange Bowl in Miami was an extra, and it was like Dusty, Nikita, Luger, Dr. Death, and Paul Ellering against the team of Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and they had Big Bubba Rogers as like their fourth man, as like a substitute, because I think somebody was hurt. Maybe J.J. Dillon, I think, was hurt or something. But yeah, here's the next entrant. Sting and Jarrett started this match off. The next entrant for this War Games match is none other than Big Poppa Pump.
What happened to the poor guy?
He had broken his nose, I guess, in a match, so they had him wearing a mask for a little bit.
This guy, Scott Steiner, breaks my heart.
Why?
When the Steiner brothers, he did some wrestling moves that was innovating, jaw-dropping stuff. The singer wrestler, the fucking steroid guy that this guy fucking turned out to be, sucks.
His wrestling ability had gone down, yes, because of his injuries and his physical stature and things like that. But yeah, you're right. Scott Steiner and the tag team, Steiner Brothers tag team, like the things he did, the Frankensteiner, that moonsault power slam that he does, where he like has the guy hoisted up like he's gonna slam him, and then he does like a like a moonsault with him and lands on him. Like his suplexes were unreal. Tag team Scott Steiner's. That's why I love the Steiners. Steiners they're in my Mount Rushmore of tag teams. They're one of my favorites.
I think they just missed mine, but that's just personal preference.
Yeah,
but like
everyone's Mount Rushmore is personal preference.
Recently,
What's
maybe
that?
not recently, but anyway, that WrestleMania 9,
Steiners and Head Shrinkers.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yes, dude, that
was the only good match in the whole.
My opinion, that's the match of the night.
That was so good.
Yes, that's the match of the night. They tore it up, and the finish at the end when the Head Shrinkers have Rick hoisted up on their shoulders, like and one of them was going to jump off the top rope, almost do like the LOD Doomsday, and Rick caught the dude in midair when he was sitting on the other Head Shrinker's shoulders and like power slam. That finish is awesome.
Yeah,
that's one of the best matches ever.
That was a great spot, but I think the best spot was when one of the Head Shrinkers picks up Scott Steiner's by the legs and just throws him over the fucking ring.
Oh,
that was incredible.
Yes, he tries to do that slingshot and he missed the rope and he went way over the top to the floor.
He did it on purpose. That match was getting stiff, and I think he said, "Fuck you, Steiner."
Maybe, I don't know.
It was a great match.
Yeah. Here's Chronic, apparently, because now you can have both of them enter the match. Since they both won the qualifying match, why not both of them enter the match?
We've seen crazier Vince Russo booking.
Well, this whole show's been crazy.
I tell you what, though, man. At first, deservedly so, we shitted on the Chronic thing. Now I'm kind of like it in a way. You're a tag team, like the Raw draft.
Yep.
You don't draft fucking
one. You draft them both.
Yeah. So I like this actually.
Okay. All right. This. You kind of hearken that to I like that analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, right? Russo books these qualifying matches, puts these two in the match, okay? He just gave his team put his team at a man disadvantage. Because this match is Chronic, Goldberg, Sting, and Booker T against that's 5 against Vince Russo, Scott Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, and world champion Kevin Nash. That's 5 on 4.
I'm getting anxiety watching them. Look at
with the cage.
Oh no, Bob Steiner. I'm like, you're not doing this to me. You're not good. You're going to gently put me down, and they did. Okay, good.
Yeah, they did like a double like knee thrust to the gut or something like that. I don't like how
that's bending like that, man.
Yeah, but if you, I mean, you look closely at it, it's kind of it bends, but it's also like double enforced. Oh, here's Russo. Okay, so Russo now enters the match, but he brings reinforcements who were never even qualified for the match in Ron and Don Harris because they have a storyline beef with Chronic. Okay, so now Russo's team is up 1, so now it's a 6-on-5 advantage because now he's got these two in the match.
There's a title at the way top, you saying?
Correct.
All right, that's how you win the match.
Yeah, you have to climb all 3 cages,
all
but
right.
the Harris brothers are.
The title? I don't know. I'm just being stupid.
It's at the top.
Okay.
You'll see it. Oh, I'm sorry, I made the mistake. So the object of the match is yes, you have to climb up and grab the title, but you have to go back down through all the cages and exit the cage to win the match.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that minor detail.
So someone's got to grab it, but it's not about. Who
grabs it? Who leaves the cage? Whoever makes it out with the title.
Interesting.
Yes, that's the object of the match.
Yeah. Oh no, not a trash can. No. Hacksaw. No. Even a 2x4. No. A fucking trash can.
Stinger splash from Sting to Russo. Allegedly, from what I've read over the years, that Russo, the physicality that took place in this match with Russo, some of the bumps that he took, as we see a pair of handcuffs just slide out of his pocket, so we obviously know what's coming up.
You're not going to tap to the Stinger.
Well, he's tapping, but like you
of.
can't. You can tap all you want. That's not the way to win the match.
Saying.
But the rumor is, from what I've read, and I think Russo's even said it, the bumps he took and the kicks that he took to his head, even with that helmet on, caused a concussion. And pretty much this was like the end of his WCW run. I think he was on TV for like a few more weeks after this, but then like he just decided not to go back. He said he was all set. He was kind of checked out. There he is.
Why would you're the head booker? You're not a fucking wrestler. Why would you book yourself in these fucking matches?
Well, because he took after the Vince McMahon formula when Vince McMahon did it.
But Vince McMahon's built like a fucking monster. This guy's...
Yeah.
I mean him... Look, at the end of the day, I think 1999, that Vince Russo could probably beat me up, but I would hurt him. If a guy like me could hurt you, you should not be in a wrestling ring. You should not be in a wrestling ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you Crash Dudley, but not
Spike Dudley.
Spike Dudley.
Yes.
But that dude, man,
I just listened to his interview on Chris Van Vliet.
He's a tough guy.
Spike it was a pretty good interview. If you ever go YouTube it, Spike Dudley, Chris Van Vliet. It was a pretty fun interview. He told some pretty fun stories. Oh, there he is. He's gonna get him some Russo, which you can clearly see this is a swerve that eventually they're gonna be friends again. Right? Look, Steiner's over there, like Jarrett too. Like, no, please leave him alone. He's the man that signs our paychecks. What are you doing, Kev? This is the Scott Steiner in his broken English is pretty much telling Nash, this is the guy we have to hurt. We have to beat Sting. And Russo's like, bro, I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? I'm so sorry.
How tall is Vince? If Kevin Nash is 7 foot,
I don't know. He's probably like
6'3", right?
Yeah, he's probably my height, 6'2", 6'3". Chronic and the Harris brothers now fighting on the floor because apparently the Wargames match
has. I hate when there's too much action that the camera can't keep up.
Or they could do those split screen shots that
something.
Oh, there he is. Nash said, "No, I'm choking Jarrett. Now I'm going to choke Steiner." You're supposed to be on a team.
Fucking punch somebody.
What's going on? See, it's a swerve, bro. It's a swerve. Who's coming out next? The clock has run down. I believe it's Booker T, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. We see the people raising the roof. It is Booker T. Don't hate the player, hate the game, sucker.
I do remember that.
Remember that? Remember when they add that to his theme song?
I do remember that.
Yeah. There he is. I liked Booker, singles Booker, world champion. I thought, I'll be honest with you, there's parts of WCW in 2000 that are really bad, but there's other parts where I was like, okay, this isn't terrible. Like they're onto something. Maybe it's just a little too late. Like with Booker T's singles run as the champion, I thought, you know what? The future of WCW, I wouldn't say it was looking bright, but there was potential. With Booker as the lead guy, you had Goldberg, Steiner. Big Poppa Pump was a strong singles character. Sting was still popular. Nash was still... Like, that group of guys in the ring right there, I thought that WCW at least had a chance if they just got if they got the creative right.
Yeah.
Because the talent in themselves, I don't think they were the issue. It was the creative. And I think the guys in that ring, that group of guys, even Goldberg was still popular. People loved Goldberg.
Yeah.
You know?
There's just no consistency. They should have fucking put the belt on Goldberg and just let him just for a year and a half.
What?
Fucking title changes and you don't know what's gonna. You don't know.
So do you think that the streak should have ended? Shouldn't have ended?
Not dead. There was so much more meat to the bone.
Really?
I think you could have gone another year. I really do.
Okay.
That was the only reason why people were watching that fucking show.
No, there was
Goldberg.
other stuff. There was other stuff about that show. I mean, you had the cruiserweights, you had the NWO. There was more to it than that. Oh, and Nash teasing that he was going to powerbomb Russo, and out comes the man himself, Goldberg.
I swear to God, I do not know the outcome of this match. I'm going with Nash. Just the way he's
kind of keeping off in the corner. Yeah.
He hasn't done a move yet. He's winning this match.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
I was anyone but Russo.
You'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be Russo, isn't it?
No. Oh, Russo with the bat to the back of Goldberg's head. Those gimmick bats, they are a mother, aren't they? Jarrett dumping Sting out. Now we got Booker climbing. So Booker's all by himself right now.
Come on, Booker, you can do it.
So Booker's all by himself right now to climb the top of the cage, which
Everyone knows I love everything Booker, even his commentating. He's my
Yeah, before we clicked record, you said something about you having a.
People shit on him, and if that's then you have every right to. But I love him.
I'll be honest with you. I loved singles Booker T in this era of WCW. When he came over to the WWF as a part of that stupid invasion angle, I thought that they made him look like a joke. And then, obviously, the angle with Triple H at that WrestleMania didn't make him look very good either. But
that's still the worst booking in WWE.
Yeah, that's
he made the racist guy win.
I know, right? I know. That is pretty bad.
And also, too,
that is pretty bad.
The pedigree. He hits the pedigree. Dude, me and you could right now go to a gas station, get Doritos, come back, and he still didn't have a pin fucking Booker T. That whole booking was a monstrosity.
You got me interested in some Doritos, I'll be honest with you.
Doritos rule, man.
Yeah.
By the way, that me and my nephews on our Cape Cod vacation had an argument. Better Doritos, the red bag or the blue bag?
Nacho cheese or Cool Ranch? God damn, I mean, I've had both and I like both, but if I were to prefer one, I would probably go with the nacho cheese.
Yeah, me too.
I like the Cool Ranch though. I don't like how they change all the flavors of Doritos.
Some of them are big hits. So that chili one, that's fucking brilliant.
Some of them are all right, and there's other ones where, like when they did like a lime one, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, but Ruffles, when they change their flavors too with some stuff, it's not bad either. Here we go, going off topic, as talking about Doritos, as Booker T is making his way up the triple cage.
Brother.
So there's the belt hanging in the balance.
More money than Kevin because he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything. He's right by.
Supposed to do here?
He's right by the door.
Yep.
Okay, he's right by the door. So,
it should be like the ladder match. You get the title and
then you win, and that's the end. Yeah.
Get the theme music.
Oh, what's he doing? Oh, there's a key. So the belt is hanging, but there's a key and a lock. You have to unlock the belt.
Can they fucking overbook this bitch?
I know, right? Why do you have to lock the belt? I don't get it.
If there was a big fight, I get it for the key, right? But he just looked at it. Oh, I need a key.
So they had the key latched onto a part of the cage, and then he used the key to unlock the belt that was locked into the. Give me a break.
I swear to God.
Oh, here comes good old Double J.
Once again, who was that fat rapper that was in the scaffold match?
PN News.
PN News scaffold match is fucking Steamboat Flair compared to this show.
Really?
I can't get over it. At least
you and I watched that show. We can go back in the. For those of you that are wondering what Dennis is talking about, Great American Bash 1991 is probably one of the worst pay-per-views in the history of all of wrestling. And Dennis and I did an almost 3-hour podcast on that show. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun. But there was a lot of garbage on that show. Yeah. Almost everything on that show was garbage.
In the creme de la creme of the shit show was that scaffold match.
And the first match on that card was a scaffold match.
That was hilarious.
With Terry Taylor, Rapmaster PN News, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and stunning Steve Austin.
I just love how Bobby Eaton was so checked out. He grabbed the flag, and you could tell, I dare one of you motherfuckers get up. I will legitimately punch you in the fucking face. And he just took that flag. Oh, we win. Just go. Let's go.
I know. It was awful. It was terrible. Oh, so here Booker lost the belt. And now Jarrett and Steiner grabbed the belt and he dropped it to Russo.
Oh, no.
He dropped it to Russo. Russo's taunting Goldberg as he holds the title up. There's Ernest Miller to make the save. Karate guy. Somebody call his mama.
Oh, that's a nice kick.
That was a nice kick right to the head.
I think that was personal.
And he's going to take the title.
That kick was personal.
Oh, there's Nash. Boom. With a knee to the gut.
Yep, here's the jackknife. Take the belt. Everyone's handcuffed.
Boom. Goldberg's handcuffed in one ring.
Steiner going business for himself. Let's go.
Booker T's handcuffed up top.
It's just him and Steiner.
So Nash has got the belt now. He's got control. Oh, and there's Goldberg about ready to rip the handcuff off. Boom. It's gone. Super kick to Goldberg. Kick to Steiner in the face with a broken nose. Elbow to Jarrett in the face. I'm sure those were all legitimate injuries. Russo bat blocked. Barely touches Russo, though. He maybe got one of Russo's chin hairs. That was about it. Now Goldberg is going for the championship. He's
where,
looking.
where he got that concussion? Vince Russo, I'm talking about. Did it look like?
Probably the cat's kick to the head, to be quite honest with you. From a legitimate martial artist. Yep, here's Goldberg holding up the title.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. With the handcuff slapped on. But what's going to happen here?
It's a Vince Russo finish.
It's a swerve. So something's going to happen right about now.
Yeah,
boom! Cage to the face.
Is that Lex?
No,
that's Brett.
That is Bret the Hitman Hart.
What jersey is that?
I don't know, but Steiner just leveled Goldberg with the lead pipe. Jarrett grabs the belt.
Not Jarrett.
Nope. Jarrett doesn't have the belt.
I think I'd rather have Vince Russo than Jarrett.
Really?
I fucking hate Jarrett. I'm sorry, I just do.
Good old Double J. Ha ha ha. That's JEFF.
That I liked.
JARRE. Double
World
T.
Champion
Nash has got Russo again.
Oh, here we go.
He's gonna hand him the belt.
Either give me the belt or break your face.
Yeah. Jarrett, please. No, what are you doing there, Kev? No. Oh, it's a swerve, bro. It's a swerve. That's right. Kevin's got the belt.
Wait a second. Did he kick Russo in the face? Like, did he do one of his like the big
no.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. He exits the cage. Boom. And still, your WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Nash, who did the least amount of work in the match.
Yeah.
I don't even think he took a bump.
No,
he took one bump when Goldberg kicked him in the face.
That's how you knew he was going to win, though.
He didn't even take his T-shirt off.
You can always tell when someone's about to turn on a tag team partner when he starts and instantly just tags in the other guy. You're like, oh, the turn's coming.
Yeah.
Same thing with like a match like this. A guy who does the least amount of work is going to win the match.
And this is the end of this Nitro episode. Here is Russo, Steiner, Nash, Jarrett, all walking away with the World Heavyweight Championship. And that ends this fun little watch-along here that we have for you on Kicking Attitude. Dennis, this was a lot of fun.
That was the doing this podcast with you was a 10 out of 10. But for what this was, I want to give this like a 3 out of 10. I'm actually going to give it, because I had fun, I'm going to give it a solid 5 out of 10.
Okay, I like that.
I'm going to give 50%.
The episode itself?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of miscommunication, a lot of confusion, but there was some level of, how do I put it? There was some level of effort made to try to create some structure, even though the execution wasn't very good, of what this themed of this episode was centered around, and that was this Wargames match, the title. It may have been a little hodgepodge, but I'll give Russo the effort, the credit for the effort in and of itself. The execution was poor, but the effort was there to try to make this a pay-per-view quality level show. That was probably, and like I said, this episode of Nitro was unopposed because Raw was preempted due to the U.S. Open tennis tournament at the time on USA. So that does it for us on this episode of Kicking Out at 2 here. Thank you all so very much. We're back, and coming up on our next episode is a poll winner. You guys voted for it, and we're going to deliver. We're going to recap for you WWF Unforgiven 2000 from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in September of 2000. That show is headlined by the return of Stone Cold Steve Austin to find out who ran over him with the car. We also saw the main event featuring The Rock defending the WWF Championship against The Undertaker, Kane, and Chris Benoit in a fatal four-way. Triple H and Kurt Angle in a singles match stemming from their love triangle storyline with Stephanie McMahon, as well as the Hardy Boys taking on Edge and Christian in a steel cage match for the WWF Tag Team titles, and so much more. So there's a lot of fun stuff on this show. Look forward to going back and watching it. You and I will watch it, Dennis, and then we will recap it for all of you here as you voted for it in the polls on Kicking Out at 2. So again, Dennis, thank you very much.
A lot of fun.
Glad to be back together. Missed you too. And we'll definitely hop back on the saddle again and close out the rest of 2025 with a bang here for the nostalgic wrestling fans and the nostalgic loyal fan base that we have here on Kicking Out at 2. So, with that being said, time to put this one down for the 3 count, and we will see you all next time.